Do you know the terms population and sample? And what is the exact meaning of a population or a sample, and when these items are used in statistics? Hi, I am Chaitanya Gundi. I am a data analytics coach and the co-founder of Swachh Data Analytics Hub. I am on a mission to help 1 million working professionals achieve career growth through the skills of data analytics. In this video, let me share what do we mean by population and a sample, and when are these terms applicable in statistics. Now, folks, whenever we want to analyze a data to arrive at a decision, let us say we want to analyze the performance of students of a certain class of a school and see where they might be lacking or what might be the steps required to improve their performance. In this case, first we collect the data of the students and the marks obtained by them in each subject in a particular exam. So, if I'm talking about students of a particular class, let us say we have 30 or 40 students, then it is comparatively easier to collect the data of all the students. Whereas if we are talking about the data of the students of a particular class, say class 10, of the entire state or country, now we are talking of huge numbers. And at this time, it will not be that easy to collect data from each and every student of the country and analyze it. It might be practical in some situations, but in most cases, it is either time consuming or it requires effort and maybe monetary expenditure in collecting data of huge proportions. And in many cases, it may not be required. So, in such cases, what we do is we identify a sample of the population. So, what do we mean by that? So, population is nothing but the entire items or people involved whose data and statistics we need to obtain and analyze. For example, the entire students of a class whose performance we want to analyze. Or if that situation is pertaining to all the schools in the country, so say class 10 students of all the CBSE schools in the country, so that is also population. So population can be small or large in magnitude. What is a sample? Generally, if a population is large, we take a small part of that population and we analyze that data. And based on our analysis, we estimate that there are some similar patterns of the entire population also. So what do we mean by that is, if suppose we are trying to analyze the data of students of a country of class 10, so we will take a sample of say 200 students, for example. We try to uh, measure or we try to obtain the data and analyze them, how they are performing, what is the median score, what is the trend with respect to the previous year. Depending on what exactly we want to measure, we will try to take that data and analyze it. And then we estimate that how true it is for the entire population when we extrapolate it to the entire population. There might be some error, but more or less, it might be giving us an overall picture of the entire population. So now we've got two terms, population and sample. So we'll define them. Population is nothing but the entire data of the individuals or the items whose performance or whose measure in terms of statistical measures we want to obtain and we want to analyze in order to arrive at some decision. Sample is nothing but a small portion of the entire range of population. When we compute the statistical measures of the data, which is the entire population, we use the term parameter. So let us say if I am obtaining the mean of the entire data of students without taking a small part, we are taking the entire population, then we talk about that mean as parameter. It's a parameter, one of the parameters of the population. Similarly, median, mode, etc. But if we take a sample of that population and we obtain the same statistical measure, we say that term as statistics. This is the language of statistics we are speaking. So let us say if I obtain the mean of the sample, then I am talking about the statistical measure. If I'm talking about the mean of the population, I'm talking about the parametrical measure. This is some language. Now, one more thing. How good is the estimation of the data of the or the characteristic of a population based on the analysis of a sample may be different in different cases. There are certain calculations, computations of how to estimate, how to forecast. We will deal with those things in a subsequent video. For now, we will understand when do we take a sample and when do we consider a population when it comes to analyzing the data. Just as we discussed a short while ago, if the magnitude of the data is very large, so it might lead to more time in collecting the data, in correcting the data and analyzing it. And if such time invested is not required, or if it makes more sense in estimating that from a small sample of data, then we go for that. So if time consumed is more when analyzing a population, we go for a sample. Second is, if resources consumed are more, let us say if we want to measure the data of entire population of the country, we will require more number of people to collect the data, correct it. We will also require more database capacity and speed. So we are taking more resources. If that is not required, if it fits our situation, when we can take same data and analyze from a sample and then estimate it for the entire population, then we go for the sample. So to save on time, to save on resources, and also if we analyze a sample of say 100 to 200 students, it would be far easier than to analyze similar data pertaining to the entire population of the country, which might be say in lakhs. So if it is less complex, and less complex is what we require in that situation, we can sacrifice that level of accuracy, then we go for sample. So here we go, 3 reasons: to save time, to save resources, and to make it less complex. In such situation, it would always be wiser to analyze a data of a sample of the entire population and then estimate what might be true for the entire population based on the analysis of the sample. In the next video, we will analyze what are the different sampling methods. There are quite a few methods. So for now, I hope you got the point of what do we mean by a population and what do we mean by a sample and how they are important when it comes to analyzing data. Feel free to post your comments and inputs on this video so that I can help you better. Thank you for your time. Happy learning.